Okay, so let's have example number 3. The integral of x squared dx all over 9 minus x squared quantity raised to 3 over 2. Okay, so number 3, we have the integral of x squared dx all over 9 minus x squared quantity raised to 3 over 2. So this is our a and this is our u. So our integrand takes the form a squared minus u squared. So our a is equal to 3. Our u is equal to x. Therefore, we are going to substitute u with a sine theta. And given that our u is equal to x, then our a is equal to 3 and then sine theta. So we are going to substitute our x's here with 3 sine theta. And of course, don't forget si dx natin. So this will be equal to 3 cosine theta d theta. And we are now ready to substitute. So yung x natin will be 3 sine theta quantity squared. And then dx is 3 cosine theta d theta all over 9 minus 3 sine theta quantity squared and then raised to 3 over 2. So simplifying further, we have 9 sine squared theta times 3 cosine theta d theta all over, this will be 9 minus 9 sine squared theta raised to 3 over 2. So simplifying further, we have 27, 9 times 3, and then sine squared theta cosine theta d theta all over, we can factor out si 9, and then we will be left with 1 minus sine squared theta quantity raised to 3 over 2. Now, we are going to recall again yung mga identities natin. Si 1 minus sine squared theta is an identity again sa Pythagorean relations. So, 1 minus sine squared theta is equal to cosine squared theta. So, if we write that, we will be having 27 sine squared theta cosine theta d theta over, that is over 9. 1 minus sine squared theta is cosine squared theta. And then raised to 3 over 2. So, ang gagawin natin is to distribute natin si exponent natin dito. So, this will be equal to 27 and then sine squared theta cosine theta d theta all over 9 raised to 3 over 2 and then cosine squared theta raised to 3 over 2. So, this is 27 sine squared theta cosine theta d theta all over 9 raised to 3 over 2 is equal to 27. And then cosine squared theta raised to 3 over 2. Okay, so recall natin ulit yung rules of exponent. What do we do if a exponent is raised to another exponent? We are going to multiply those. So 2 times 3 over 2, this will cancel. So we will be left with cosine cube theta. Okay, so this will cancel and the cosine in the numerator will cancel as well as sa denominator natin, and we will be left with cosine squared theta na lang sa denominator. So this will be equal to sine squared theta over cosine squared theta d theta. Now, recall natin yung identities natin. Recall that tangent theta is equal to sine theta over cosine theta. Okay, so yung integrand natin is sine squared theta over cosine squared theta, which is the same lang din dito. Naka-square lang. Therefore, yung new integrand natin will be equal to tangent squared theta d theta. And we can now proceed to, hindi pa pala. Kasi walang integration si tangent squared theta na diretso. So, hanap ulit tayo ng identity ni tangent squared theta. Again, sa Pythagorean relations, tangent squared theta is equal to secant squared theta minus 1. So we can rewrite this as secant squared theta minus 1 d theta. You can find this sa Pythagorean relations natin. Okay, sa trigonometric identities. So from here, this can be equal to secant squared theta d theta minus the integral of d theta. So from this, we can now integrate. So what is the integral of secant squared theta d theta? That will be equal to tangent theta. So this is equal to tangent theta, and then the integral of d theta will be theta. So minus theta plus c. Now, sa Pythagorean triangle naman tayo, sa Pythagorean theorem, if we get the angle here, okay, so from here, si x is equal to sine theta, 3 sine theta. So our sine theta will be equal to x over 3. And sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So yung opposite natin will be x, and then our hypotenuse will be 3. If we are going to compute for our adjacent, that will be equal to 9 minus x squared. Square root of 9 minus x squared. That is according to the Pythagorean theorem formula. Okay? But since we have tangent here, kunin natin yung value ng tangent theta natin. So our tangent theta will be opposite over adjacent. So this will be x over the square root of 9 minus x squared. And since may theta tayo dito, we are going to get the value of theta that is equal to arc sine x over 3. Okay, so our final answer would be x over square root of 9 minus x squared minus arc sine x over 3 plus c. So this is our final answer for example number 3. Yan. Now let's try see example number 4. Yan. Integral of square root of 9 minus 4x squared over x squared dx. Okay. So number 4. The integral of the square root of 9 minus 4x squared over x squared dx. So our integrand takes again the form a squared minus u squared. So, yung a natin is equal to 3, and then our u is equal to x. Therefore, we are going to substitute a sine theta. And then our x will be equal to 3 sine theta. Dx will be equal to 3 cosine theta d theta. And then we substitute. So this will be equal to the square root of 9 minus 4 times 3 sine theta quantity squared all over 3 sine theta quantity squared times dx natin is... Okay, so correction lang ha. Dito is, our u pala is, since 4x squared to, that will be 2x. So this is 2x, and then our x is, yan, magiging 2 dx. So yung dx natin will be equal to 3 over 2 cosine theta d theta. So ilagay ko na lang dito. This will be equal to 3 over 2 cosine theta d theta. Okay, so let's simplify. Sorry. This will be the square root of 9 minus 4 times, this should be 3 over 2 kasi x lang to, okay? So this is 3 over 2 as well as this one. Yan. X is equal to 3 over 2 sine theta. Okay, so this will be equal to, since naka-square siya, that will be 9 over 4 sine squared theta all over, since naka-square rin siya, this will be 9 over 4 sine squared theta. And then 3 over 2 cosine theta d theta. So from there, simplify ulit tayo. So this will cancel. And then we are left with the square root of 9 minus 9 sine squared theta all over 9. Oh, sorry. Um, Ayan. 9 over 4 and then sine squared theta multiplied by 3 over 2 cosine theta d theta. Okay, so still mag-simplify pa tayo. Okay. So, we can factor out si 9 dito sa numerator natin. So, we are left with the square root of 9 times 1 minus sine squared theta all over, that is 9 over 4 sine squared theta multiplied by 3 over 2 cosine theta d theta. Okay. So, si 1 minus sine squared theta is equal to cosine squared theta. So, this will be equal to 9 cosine squared theta all over 9 over 4 sine squared theta multiplied by 3 over 2 cosine theta d theta. So, pwede na nating, since perfect square tong dalawa, we can eradicate yung radical sign. So, this will be equal to 3 cosine theta all over 9 over 4 sine squared theta multiplied by 3 cosine theta d theta. It should be 3 over 2. Yan. Okay. So, simplifying further, 3 times 3, that will be 9. And then cosine theta times cosine theta, that is cosine squared theta. Okay. All over, si 2 naman, i-multiply natin dito. So, that will be, this will cancel. So, matitira dito will be 2. Okay. So, this is 9 over 2 sine squared theta d theta. Okay. So, from there, if we simplify this one, this will cancel, si 9. And then, we are left with 2 cosine squared theta over sine squared theta d theta. Okay. So, identity ulit tayo. We all know, so recall natin, that tangent theta is equal to sine theta over cosine theta. However, our integrand is a reciprocal of this one. So, ano ba yung reciprocal ng tangent theta? That is cotangent theta. So, we can assume or we can say na yung cosine squared theta over sine squared theta natin is equal to cotangent squared theta. Since reciprocal naman sila ng tangent, which is equal to sine theta over cosine theta. Okay? So, we can have 2 times the cotangent squared theta d theta. And from here, pwede na tayong mag-integrate. So, what is the integral of cotangent squared theta? That is equal to negative cotangent theta minus theta plus c. Okay. So, i-isolate natin si 2. So, this will be equal to negative negative cotangent theta minus theta and then plus c. So, this will be equal to, hindi pa pala. Yung triangle muna tayo. Pythagorean. So, if this is your theta, and then your x is equal to 3 over 2 sine theta, we are going to find the value of sine theta. That will be equal to 2x over 3. And sine theta is equal to opposite over hypotenuse. So, yung opposite natin will be 2x and then our hypotenuse will be 3. So, yung adjacent natin will be equal to 9 minus 4x squared. Okay. So, from there, kunin natin si tangent. Tangent theta will be equal to opposite, that will be equal to 2x over adjacent, that is the square root of 9 minus 4x squared. Okay? So, from there, yung final answer natin will be equal to 2 times negative 1 over 2x over square root of 9 minus 4x squared. And then minus theta. Our theta will be equal to arc sine 2x over 3. And then plus c. So, simplify ulit natin. This will be equal to negative 2 square root of 9 minus 4x squared all over 2x minus arc sine 2x over 3 plus c. C2 pala. Kasi dinistribute ko na siya dito. So, i-distribute na rin natin siya doon. However, this will cancel. So, our final answer will be negative square root of 9 minus 4x squared all over x minus 2 arc sine 2x over 3 plus c. So, this is our final answer for example number 4. Okay?